Hey, what's up? We're here at Skiba's gym in Carteret, New Jersey. I came out here to kind of do my first sort of official workout since I had surgery in January. I had the surgery to reattach most of the quad tendon in my right knee. I had gotten a tear in the quad in 2015 in the summertime, just training for Boss of Bosses 2. And it wasn't too major, so I kept training for the meet, and then made it through the meets. Had another meet, Boss of Bosses 3 the next year, and trained for that. And then a little bit after that, I was training for another meet for the WRPF World Powerlifting Championships in Russia. And after one of the workouts, I was just stretching out on my quad, tore a little bit more than before, so it got to the point where I really couldn't put any weight on it if I squatted down. So checked it out with the doctors and MRIs and everything like that. And so basically came back and they're like, yeah, your quad is torn probably like halfway through the muscle on the right knee. So decided surgery was kind of a must at that point. And January 11th, I got the surgery, and now I'm here today. I think it's exactly 11 weeks later. They told me it would take about a 12-week time frame to recover fully before I could really start, strengthening it again. So it's pretty much at that point where it's, healing is pretty far along. The swelling is pretty far down from where it was, which was like just a giant balloon in the beginning. But yeah, so today I'm just kind of doing, just the first time doing some light stuff, do some light squatting, not even back squatting, just doing a little squatting, some lunges, some hamstrings and back, just a little bit of like lower body training. Yeah, the interesting thing about this knee injury is, the last, I guess it's been a little more than 18 months, but it was 18 months that I had it, and I was training for meets on it. It was pretty painful, and I was able to hit some good lifts in the gym from time to time, but I didn't really have the results in the contest that I want. And I did the best that I could for those meets, but there was definitely a lot of days where I really had to not push as hard in the training as I wanted to. So looking at it as it's kind of like a weight off my chest. But now, once I was sort of at the point where I have to get the surgery, now that it's healing up, I have a chance to, one, to not train while I'm constantly hurting with the knee. And once it heals up, I'll be able to, come back and kind of make sure everything feels good as I build in heavier and heavier weights, so I can sort of build the squat from the ground up. The nice silver lining, as I was saying, is I can still bench, and the bench has been probably the lift for me that I've been trying to work on the most. And I think the last kind of two events that I've benched in, I've gotten better and better training. So that was the trip to Russia. My training went really well, and I hit some nice improvements in the gym, but still, didn't quite hit the PR I wanted at the meet. And then, for the animal cage bench with the feet up, this was just it was like 7 or 8 weeks after the surgery. So I hit a nice PR benching with the feet up. And now I'm still just gonna kind of focus on some more bench meets. So yeah, in a way it's kind of like relaxing for the training to not have all the body parts that hurt from the squatting and deadlifting. But and then on the plus side, just trying to build up my bench. There's a lot of things I want to work on. And this kind of gives me a chance to do it without the pressure of having dates to kind of get everything prepped for. For long-term goals, my goal has always been to get as strong as I can. I've competed at 220, I've competed at 242. I don't really have any idea where my weight will be at. I haven't really weighed myself much all year, so I'm not really too concerned about that. My goal right now is just to get as strong as I can. I think the goal for, the big goal for my bench would be to get it closer to 600. That's going to take, 1, 2, 3, 4 years, whatever it'll take, but having a chance to really just focus on it right now is kind of the big goal. And once I come back and I can start squatting and deadlifting, I feel like I haven't done what I'm capable of yet, and I think, assuming everything goes smoothly when I recover, then, it's just a matter of time and taking, the experience I've gained every step along the way of, getting the setbacks like these ones, and just taking that all into account when I kind of formulate my plan for how to train. And of course, sometimes having a plan and then sticking to it is kind of the other key, where experience can be, pretty helpful, being smart with the training. So yeah, once I return, the goal is still going to be just to to be as competitive and strong as I can. So yeah, and I guess putting my like recovery into perspective, like I said, I've had a pretty good like stretch so far in my career of being able to compete and win meets and set records at 220 and 242. And a lot of the guys that I've met through competition and competed against, I've seen them get a lot better, and a lot of them become my friends. So it's definitely motivating sometimes to watch those guys get better. Especially, I do a lot of coaching, and I don't really coach the guys that I'm competing against. But when I watch them, it's hard to kind of turn off the like coaching instinct. So a lot of times when I'm watching the guys who were my competitors, who were kind of coming up from, when I was ahead of them basically, and watching them kind of improve, there's some of the things I would notice about them. I'm like, these guys can just figure some of these things out that they haven't figured out yet. They're going to improve a lot. Don't get me wrong, I'm excited to get back into lift as well. But at the same time, it's like, one thing I learned a long time ago is when you try to stress out over the things that are out of your control, that doesn't really help anything. So, I'm just sort of taking my time. I push as hard as I want with the recovery to kind of, make sure I'm doing the right thing, but I know it takes time, and I'm not really too stressed out about that.